I always said that about if you like listen to early Woody Allen, like the moose. I shot a moose. That story. You think it's joke, 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 and then but the joke's on them. It was restricted, but it has the payoff, and that's so important in like as you're saying storytelling. You want to keep them, but then you need that payoff. Now, does that make it hard for you as a writer when you sit there and go, I know all the hills and valleys are great, but I got to have like
How do I wrap this in
yeah.
a bow?
How do you attack that when you're writing it?
So if I'm writing, like, we'll go with the parachuting story. I have two childbirthing stories about the two kids, and they actually go together even better. And then there's even a third part about me wanting to quit doing stand-up, but I've been doing this since I was 18, so it's hard to get a job when your resume's comedian and lemonade stand. There's not much there. But I write it in threes. I treat it like a play. There's the beginning. How do we get into the story? There's the middle, which is where we find our conflict, and there's the end. How do we resolve it? And I try to write them each so I could do it on stage individually without the other two parts. So funny enough, over time you start to find the thread and you figure out how to wrap it together and bring it together. The reason Bill Cosby was the master. That guy would just sit down on a chair and talk for 2 hours and have everybody in his hands the whole time. But watching and listening to him as a kid, I loved how he would do it. And then all of a sudden he'd go into another story and wrap the other story back in. And it's like, if you can do that, if you can weave this all together, it's pretty amazing. But it's a lot of trial and failure,
Now,